But
I did have one other question, and
yeah,
this is kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but this
yep.
question rattles around in my head a lot when I talk with folks because Black Hawk Down was a very popular movie.
Mhm.
I watched it several times before deployment, and I want to ask you this. It's going to sound kind of silly, but I got to ask. So, when I was deployed, we had our fair share of firefights, and there's this one scene in the movie where they got I believe it's a 50 cal on top of the Humvee, which is how we traveled. I was military police. Please don't hold that against me. That's how we traveled. And there's a scene in the movie where they're in this firefight, and you can hear the spent shells falling down into the Humvee, and they make a very distinct sound. And I found like in the middle of a firefight, I have a flashback to the movie because they got that sound down perfectly. You know what I mean? Like
They nailed it.
when we were going at it, it was all over with, and you know how your mind works. And I was like, oh, that was just like the sound that I heard in this movie.
Absolutely.
They
Like,
nailed it.
so I never been in Humvees. Like, I never had to be in a Humvee unit. I mean, we had Humvees, but we never
Right.
used. I was Stryker. So,
By the way,
but
we
then,
loved you guys. We
oh,
loved
hey,
the Stryker dudes.
Strikers are awesome.
Yeah.
They are the most underrated military vehicle on the battlefield.
I
Like,
can
I love it.
I can tell you when we were in the shit and things were going south, and a striker would pull up and a bunch of angry infantrymen would jump out the back and lay waste to everything in front of us. That was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. So
Love it.
I don't want to get too far out of ourselves, but yeah, I was just
No,
curious. Like, was that your experience? Of like that sound, the sounds in that movie
yeah.
were very, very
So
good.
from the brass to the brass links, like even on the inside of a
Yes.
Striker, the floor of the Striker is like an acrylic paint. It's
Mhm.
not just a normal paint. So here, and then we had like in the squad leader's hatch, you had the squad leader, and then you have the gunner, and the gunner is obviously a remote control gun. So he's sitting in a hatch that's closed, shouldn't be up there, but the spent casings still hit the roof, and then they bounce out the squad leader's hatch, which he's on a platform that runs off of the bench seats, or now they're airborne seats, but it used to be bench seats. So you'd hear all the brass and then the brass links bouncing off into the actual Striker, and I guess I've never put one and one together the way you did, but yes, and I just rewatched it and watched a documentary on Netflix about it too. So like, yes, that sound is nailed, and that is probably one of those sounds that now when I'm watching, it's going to take me back to every freaking live fire or
Yeah.
firefight overseas we used it for now.